Ladies and gentlemen, when you've been caught in the web of a narcissist, you have to understand something deeply unsettling. Their hatred doesn't stop at just wanting control. Sometimes, in the darkest corners of their mind, their obsession grows into something far more dangerous. They don't just want to control you, they want to destroy you, erase you, make you disappear, not only from their life, but from existence itself. And the signs of this dark obsession are often quiet and hidden until it's already too late. Today, we will uncover the secret signs that reveal when a narcissist wants to see you completely broken. When a narcissist wants you destroyed, the first place you'll notice it isn't in what they do, but in what they imagine. Behind their eyes are twisted fantasies, dark and cruel daydreams about your downfall. These are not harmless thoughts. They are obsessive, disturbing, and filled with the desire to see you crushed. A narcissist doesn't just want to win a fight or prove a point. They want to see you stripped of your dignity, emptied of your spirit, and sometimes even gone from this world. They replay these thoughts in their mind like a movie, where you are the victim and they are the victorious conqueror. If you look carefully, you can catch small glimpses of this hidden mindset. It shows up in a cold smirk when you make a mistake, in the strange pleasure they take when you lose something important, or in a mocking joke that cuts too deep and lingers long after they've said it. It's terrifying to realize that someone could feed their soul on the idea of your suffering, but that's what they do because it gives them a sense of power. Power over you, power over the situation, and most of all, power over the emptiness that lives inside them. Your pain becomes their proof of control. Your tears are not met with empathy, but satisfaction. They see your hurt as confirmation that they are in charge. That is how a narcissist feeds on dominance, on control, on your brokenness. And once they taste that kind of control, the thought of seeing you erased, silenced, or destroyed becomes like an addiction. They'll never admit it openly. They'll hide it behind sarcasm, behind jokes that sting, or little slips in conversation. You'll hear phrases like, "You'd be nothing without me," or "One day you'll regret leaving me." It may sound like simple arrogance, but beneath those words lies something much darker, a dangerous fantasy they secretly nurture. And here's the truth: fantasies eventually crave action. The more they picture your downfall, the more they want to make it happen. That's why so many survivors of narcissistic abuse say they felt as though their abuser was waiting for them to fall apart. It's not paranoia, it's instinct. On some level, you can sense when someone doesn't just dislike you, but wants to see you ruined. You can feel it in the silence when you're struggling, in the cold satisfaction when you fail, and in the disappointment they show when you recover. They don't want you strong or happy because your strength proves they don't own you, and that is something they cannot stand. So their imagination grows darker. It shifts from hoping you fail to picturing you gone. That's why it's so important to pay attention to those small warning signs. The strange smile when you're hurt, the comfort they take when tragedy touches your life, the odd way they seem to expect your downfall. These are not coincidences. These are glimpses into a disturbed mind rehearsing your end. And when you finally see it clearly, you understand how dangerous that silent fantasy truly is. Before a narcissist ever dreams of your physical destruction, they go after something even more cruel: the destruction of your identity. It doesn't happen fast. It's slow, deliberate, and carefully planned. They strip you away piece by piece until the person you once were feels unrecognizable. This is their real skill: killing your spirit long before they even think about ending your presence. It starts quietly. They question your choices, your thoughts, your dreams. At first, it seems like they're giving advice or showing concern, but soon it becomes a constant attack on your confidence. Are you sure you can do that? No one else thinks you're capable. You're not as smart as you think you are. Those words are poison. They enter your mind slowly until one day you start believing them. That's the first step, when their voice becomes louder than your own. Then comes isolation. They cut your connections one by one. Friends are labeled as bad influences. Family members are called jealous or unsupportive. Gradually, you find yourself alone, with only the narcissist left as your source of truth. And when their voice is the only one you hear, their version of reality becomes yours. They tell you who you are, what you should want, what you should feel. Bit by bit, you disappear. You stop existing as an individual. You become their possession, their creation, their reflection. This isn't love, it's a psychological execution. Once they've cut you off from everyone and everything that grounds you, they attack your passions. The hobbies that once gave you joy, they mock them. The work you were proud of, they belittle it. The dreams that once gave you hope, they laugh at them until you feel foolish for ever believing in them. What they are doing is dismantling your sense of self. If they can destroy what makes you unique, they can make you empty. And when you're empty, you're easy to throw away. This process of erasing your identity is the first stage of death in their twisted story. Once they've hollowed you out emotionally, the step toward wanting you gone entirely is not a big one. They've already tested your limits. They know how much of your spirit they can crush, how much of your fire they can dim, how much of you they can erase without resistance. And when they succeed, they feel powerful. You're not just a person they despise, you're someone they've already killed on the inside. What makes this even more frightening is that you often don't notice it happening until it's too late. One day you wake up and you don't recognize yourself. You doubt everything you do. You feel small, worthless, and undeserving of love. You start believing that you are nothing without them. That's not an accident. It's the outcome they designed from the start. They want you lifeless in spirit long before they destroy your body or your future. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse describe this as feeling dead inside, because that's exactly what the narcissist wants, to erase your soul before they ever think of erasing your existence. When a narcissist sets their sights on destroying you, control becomes their obsession. It's no longer about simple influence. It's about total domination. They want to possess your every move, every thought, every breath. They watch your life like a hawk, treating it as if it belongs to them. Every decision you make is analyzed, questioned, and criticized. They can't stand the thought of you living a life that's beyond their reach. Every phone call, every message, every outing becomes a threat to the control they crave. And the more you try to reclaim your freedom, the more hostile they become. This control often starts subtly. It hides under the disguise of concern. Who are you talking to? Where are you going? What did you say to them? These may sound like harmless questions, but they are not. They are a form of surveillance, a way to track your every move, to predict your behavior, to prepare their next manipulation. They keep mental notes about your friends, your routines, your fears. Every little detail becomes a tool, and each time you act independently, they respond with anger, suspicion, or guilt. What makes this so dangerous is how gradually it grows. It begins with small suggestions, tiny corrections here and there. Maybe you shouldn't wear that. I don't think that person really likes you. You always mess that up. Slowly, it becomes constant control. They tell you who to see, where to go, what to say. You start doubting your judgment until giving in feels easier than resisting. You tell yourself it's not worth the fight, but every time you comply, they tighten the chains. Yet, no matter how much power you give them, it's never enough. They don't want balance, they want domination. When a narcissist feels like they can't control you anymore, when they sense that you still have some strength left, some freedom left, they see you as a threat. And in their world, threats must be removed because if they can't bend you to their will completely, then the only outcome they accept is your destruction. Their obsession with control is deeply tied to their obsession with your disappearance. What makes it truly frightening is how personal it feels. It is not distant, not random, it's intimate. You are not just caught in some situation, you are being controlled by a mind that sees your life as a playground for their power. The more you resist, the harder they push. They watch your routines, twist situations, and test every limit. They look for cracks, for weak points, for ways to crush your independence completely. Every time you try to take back control, they come back stronger because to them, you are not allowed to exist outside of their command. This kind of obsession is draining. It is terrifying. It leaves you exhausted, confused, and alone. You start doubting yourself, second guessing your thoughts, and fearing what will happen if you dare to act freely. And while you are trying to hold on to your sanity, the narcissist is already planning for the moment when they no longer need to control you, the moment they can erase you completely. Their hunger for control slowly turns into a craving for destruction. For them, control is never just about power. It is about ownership, possession, and domination. And when ownership slips away, the desire to see you gone takes its place. One of the most dangerous ways a narcissist shows this hidden wish to destroy you is through quiet, unseen attacks on your reputation. They rarely attack you directly. Instead, they work through whispers, small lies, and twisted truths. This is the art of character assassination, a slow, silent war meant to make you look weak, guilty, or unstable to everyone around you. It is subtle. Outsiders may never see it, but to you, it feels like your world is collapsing. While you're trying to keep your dignity, they're rewriting how others see you. Smear campaigns are their favorite weapon. They start small, just a tiny twist of truth, a careful lie disguised as concern. They tell friends and family half stories that make you seem difficult or unreliable. They show coworkers a version of events that paints them as the victim and you as the problem. And anyone who might stand by your side slowly starts to pull away, unsure of who to believe. These lies are hard to fight because they are coated with bits of truth, timed to your emotional reactions, and built around your human flaws. By the time you notice what's happening, they've already turned others against you. This strategy is so dangerous because it attacks before you can defend yourself. You feel it before you understand it. Friends grow cold, coworkers act distant, family looks at you differently. You sense judgment but can't explain why. That's when the narcissist smiles. Their pleasure comes from watching you question your own worth, from seeing you isolated, confused, and unsure. They don't have to touch you to destroy you. Your social world becomes the weapon. Every relationship is twisted into a tool of control. By controlling what others think of you, they shrink your life. They make your circle smaller, your confidence weaker, and your existence feel meaningless. When they reach that point, when you are surrounded by silence and suspicion, they've already practiced your erasure. They don't need to destroy you physically. They've already erased you in the eyes of others. You begin to live as a shadow of yourself, doubting your every move, unsure what is true anymore. That confusion is their victory. Every rumor, every half truth, every small lie becomes another brick in the wall of your isolation. Their goal is not just to hurt you, it's to make sure no one believes you, no one supports you, and no one sees your value. When they succeed, they can stand back and watch as you fight to survive in a world they've poisoned. That's why it's so important to recognize the warning signs early. The odd comments from friends, the strange distance of colleagues, the sudden shift in how people treat you, those are not accidents. They are the marks of a narcissist rehearsing your destruction. Their cruelty goes far beyond manipulation. It's driven by the twisted pleasure they get from your pain. They don't just want control, they want to feel alive through your suffering. It excites them to see you in distress. It makes them feel powerful to watch you fall apart. Your sadness becomes their entertainment, your fear, their joy, your breakdown, their victory. They take quiet delight in every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of hopelessness. They might not show it openly. Sometimes they hide behind false kindness, fake sympathy, or carefully chosen words of concern. But behind the mask is a cold satisfaction. They are keeping score. Every time you break, every time you struggle, they feel stronger. They collect your pain like trophies. They don't help when you need comfort. They stand by, pretending to care, while secretly feeding on the sight of your suffering. At first, their cruelty seems small. A cutting remark, a sarcastic joke, a hidden insult disguised as advice. But those moments add up. Each one chips away at your confidence until you start believing their lies about you. They create doubt so deep that you start questioning your own worth. And once they see that confusion in your eyes, they know they have control. That's what they want. To make you dependent, to make you fragile, to make you believe that peace only exists when they allow it. This pattern doesn't stop, it grows. Over time, they find new ways to provoke you, to manipulate you, to pull you apart. Your reactions become their game. Every time you cry, defend yourself, or lose control, they win another round. They don't admire your strength, they see it as a challenge to crush. Every act of courage you show only pushes them to be more cruel. Your pain becomes their purpose, and your destruction their end goal. What makes this truly dangerous is how normal it looks from the outside. To the world, the narcissist often appears charming, generous, or caring. People see them as patient and kind, while you, the victim, seem emotional, distant, or unstable. That's part of their design. They build two realities, one for the public and one for you. You live in the private nightmare while they wear a mask of innocence in front of everyone else. They'll even make you doubt your own perception. You'll start wondering if you're the problem. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe you misunderstood. That confusion is exactly what they want. The more uncertain you are, the easier it is for them to control your emotions. When you can't trust yourself, you end up depending on them even more. That dependency feeds their ego and fuels their sense of superiority. But their ultimate desire goes beyond control. It slides into something darker, the fantasy of your complete disappearance. Watching you suffer is just a rehearsal for that final act. They want to live in a world where you no longer exist, where your name is forgotten, where your influence is erased. It's not about love or loss. It's about domination and victory. You can see this shift when they begin to prepare for life without you. It happens quietly at first, almost unnoticeably. They start creating a life that doesn't include you, forming new connections, seeking replacements, building alliances. They may flirt with others, start new friendships, or align with people who can serve their next chapter. To you, it feels cold and strange. To them, it feels exciting, like freedom. They begin studying your life, your talents, your achievements, your relationships, your belongings, and imagining how to take or replace them. It's not about surviving after you're gone, it's about winning. They want to prove that they can not only live without you, but thrive because you're gone. They start rehearsing this victory in their mind, picturing themselves as the one who came out stronger, cleaner, more successful. This mental rehearsal is not just fantasy, it's preparation. Every move they make is calculated to ensure that when you are finally gone, there will be no trace of you left behind. They slowly erase your influence, replace your connections, and steal your narrative. You become a ghost before you even leave. They rewrite the story so that in everyone's eyes, you are the villain and they are the victim who survived you. And what's most chilling is how peaceful they seem during this phase. They no longer rage or argue. Instead, they become distant, calm, almost detached. That calm is not healing, it's calculation. It's the quiet of someone who has already decided that your chapter in their story is over. They are simply waiting for the right moment to close the book. This is the narcissist's final stage, the transition from control to elimination. Their obsession doesn't stop at owning you, it extends to erasing you. They want to ensure that you have no place to return, no voice to speak with, no one to believe your side. It's the cruelest form of power, not just to control your life, but to rewrite the memory of your existence. To survive this, you must see the truth behind their mask. Understand that their calm is not peace. Their kindness is not care. Their words are not love. Everything is a move in their game to keep control or prepare for your erasure. Recognize it early. Protect your boundaries. Guard your name. Preserve your truth. Because once a narcissist begins imagining a world without you, they are already building it. They are crafting a future where your voice is silenced, your story rewritten, and your existence forgotten. But their fantasy doesn't have to become your fate. The power they claim only survives through your belief in it. The moment you stop feeding their control, their illusion begins to crack. And in that space, in that silence where you reclaim your worth, their empire of lies begins to fall apart.